When Apple launched the App Store in 2008, developers rushed to create mobile apps. The platform quickly became a major opportunity for small developers, independent creators, and technology companies. Some apps became enormous successes almost overnight. In 2013, the simple mobile game Flappy Bird became a global phenomenon. At the peak of its popularity, the game was reportedly earning around $50,000 per day. The number of new apps released on Apple's App Store continued to grow and reached a peak of approximately 890,000 new releases in 2016. But as the App Store matured, the market began to change. Consumers increasingly concentrated their time and money on a relatively small number of popular apps. Growth in new App Store releases slowed after 2017, and by 2022, the number of new apps released had fallen to around 420,000. Even so, the App Store remained a major source of revenue for Apple. Last year, consumers spent approximately $114 billion on in-app purchases, and Apple collected around $34 billion from that activity. The platform was still generating enormous amounts of money, but the rapid growth seen during its early years had largely disappeared. Then, artificial intelligence introduced a new way to create software. A process known as Vibecoding began gaining attention as AI systems became much better at writing computer code. Instead of learning programming languages or writing every line of code manually, a person can describe an idea to an AI tool and ask it to build a website or mobile app. Someone with little or no programming experience can now create a working prototype by giving instructions in ordinary language. After spending a few weeks learning how to use AI coding tools, a beginner may be able to create an app and spend additional time preparing it for release on Apple's App Store. That lower barrier to entry is creating a new wave of app developers. One example is Mr. Perez, who used AI tools to create an app called InfoDrizzle. The app achieved modest success, receiving around 1,300 downloads and generating approximately $500 in profit. His next app performed much better. In May, after about a week of work, he released Stampa, a scrapbooking app that turns photographs into digital postage stamps. Stampa was downloaded around 20,000 times and generated approximately $3,000 in profit. These apps are part of a much larger increase in new releases. After years of slower growth, Vibecoding appears to be bringing renewed activity to Apple's App Store. Last year, the number of new apps released increased by around 30%, reaching approximately 600,000. During the first half of this year, developers released around 560,000 new apps, more than double the number released during the same period a year earlier. The mobile app market is becoming attractive again because AI is making software creation faster, cheaper, and more accessible. But there is an important question. Just because an app is easy to build does not mean people will download or use it. AI may be bringing new life to the App Store, but it may also be creating more clutter. Thousands of new apps can appear quickly, making it harder for users to discover useful products and harder for developers to stand out. The number of apps may be rising rapidly, but consumer demand is not growing at the same speed. That creates a complicated situation for Apple. More apps could mean more opportunities for Apple to earn revenue. The company generally takes a 30% commission from many in-app purchases, including subscriptions, while some smaller developers qualify for a reduced commission of 15%. In theory, a larger number of apps could lead to more purchases and more revenue for Apple. However, Apple cannot collect a percentage of app sales if consumers are not downloading apps or spending money inside them. Last year, App Store downloads increased by only around 3%, reaching approximately 35.4 billion downloads. During the first half of this year, downloads grew by around 2%, reaching approximately 17.6 billion. Those figures show that while the number of new apps is increasing rapidly, downloads are growing much more slowly. There is also another challenge. Every new app requires resources and work from Apple. The company reviews apps before they are released and reviews updates before they reach users. As AI makes it easier for thousands of people to create apps, Apple may have to process and review a much larger number of submissions. Even apps that receive few downloads can still create additional work for the company. Vibecoding could eventually create a new generation of successful developers and bring fresh innovation to the App Store. It could allow people with great ideas but no programming experience to build useful products and reach millions of users. But it could also flood the platform with low-quality, repetitive, or unfinished apps. The App Store may be entering another gold rush era. The difference is that this time, many of the developers may not know how to write code at all. The real question is whether AI is bringing new life to Apple's App Store, or simply making it easier to fill it with apps that nobody wants to use.